God. Quick, Ashu, roll a death save. Arthur, do something for the love of God.
Penis!
Criana, shut the fuck up!
I roll performance.
Yeah, Dolma rolls performance. Saves or reads life.
I'm not doing so good.
Why am I dying again?
And then
Don't worry about it.
And then it's like 5 minutes later. It's like, well, that was an adventure. So about that fireball.
We were streaming, right? We were streaming that whole time, right?
Guys, I swear to God.
I just want to know why every single time Marie has to be the one that gets God in these scenarios.
What do we do with
He's
the
a
unconscious
gentle,
Celine?
fragile child.
Quick, everyone, take Kip's clothes off.
I thought that was your job.
Oh, right. Got it.
She would, but she's caught in that blob.
Help me first. Take his clothes off.
I can't, I'm dying.
That would be
You're gonna
hilarious.
have to take my shift.
We start the stream one day and we're like, guys, I'm sorry. We thought we were streaming for 5 minutes. We weren't, but it was only 5 minutes. Now, how many people are down? Wait, what?
All right.
You have to be very casual about it. You have to be like, okay, so we're back. Arthur, roll a death save.
Yeah.
Just like what?
Yeah. Kinsey, I'll get with you on your new character in a minute.
Speaking
So,
of which,
Dolma,
Mackenzie
you're
is
playing
not with
Fulma
us.
now, right?
Well, she's not with us tonight.
Thank
she's
God.
not with us
Tonight.
Very specifically, Mackenzie is not with us tonight.
It just starts like, guys, we lost about 5 minutes, but you should be able to catch up pretty quickly. Dolma, you better play those bagpipes like your life depended on it.
Girls'
right.
night
It's
is
a surprise,
very
they do.
Oh, man. All right. So, I just realized girls' night is basically just no burn and no glass. That's it.
Yep.
That's girls'
That's
night.
it.
Yup.
And
Yay.
there's like a point where the guys have to hang out. They're just awkwardly sitting in the same room.
It's like, even like Maggie's a part of it in spirit and Tally's just allowed.
Yeah.
All right.
Tally is one of the girls.
Would anyone like to give me a recap of the very uneventful last session?
Well, since everyone is clamoring at the heels for it, I can do it.
Sure.
Alright, listen up, all you people in chat, because I'm only going to say it once. You got it?
Oh,
Capiche?
Jesus, wow.
Alright, so there we are, sitting there, eating our pancakes like you do in the morning. And then an explosion outside rocks everything, including all of the rocks, very inappropriately. We go outside. There are 12 dead bodies. They are charred to bits. Except they're not bits. They're still whole people, but they're charred. Everyone is very upset. Including a tiny boy who went, I hid behind a water barrel, Papa, and I found this thing and it went sploosh. In the water, I hold it up for you, demon lady, but I'm also not supposed to talk to you. And she was like, good job, little boy. Go take it to the guard. Arthur, escort him to the guard, which happens a little later, but I'm saying this now. So, Dolma goes and talks with people. One of them, the apothecary, potion, woman creature, who's like, yeah, I saw shifty people and then explosion. That was pretty scary. And then Dolma went to go talk with Noblewoman. But before any of that could happen, the Drow team decided, I want to search the bodies. And Kai's like, yeah, I got this. I'm gonna make a fake second explosion. Everyone starts running, which buys Arit time to search through pockets and not take anything. He is the worst pickpocket ever. He should never multi-class into a rogue.
Actually, he was really good at it. He just
Didn't
doesn't
take
have
anything.
mentality. Yeah, he doesn't have the right temperament.
He did not steal anything, like a loser. So, everyone runs. Doma is running after Noblewoman. Noblewoman is freaking out for obvious reasons. Doma is like, oh no, you're hurt. See, I totally did an illusion. There's blood on the floor. And then they go into an alleyway. They talk for a little bit. No kissy times. Just talking.
I was very disappointed by this.
Yes, very disappointing. Noblewoman is going like, yeah, I saw someone on the roof. They were like a person, but not really a person, if you catch my drift. They're like half a person. Part of a person. Maybe it was a puppet. Doma's like, cool, got it. Go back to the tavern. And then it happens. We all get detained by Barnabas Blastwind, who clearly is not shifty character at all because his name is Blastwind and a fireball happened.
He has a colon disorder. Thank you very much.
I want to point out, Barnabas Blastwind.
He takes the stairs instead of the elevator for other people's sake.
I mean, the man can fly. And has no magic, but he can soar.
He can soar.
So Mr. Investigator Blastwind and his sidekick, Seth Crowley, were on the case. They detained us for a little bit, asking questions because apparently we're very shifty. Because we're like, he was going to your inn, wasn't he? He also had gems on him, wasn't he? And we're like, yeah. Cool, right?
Cool story, bro.
Cool story, bro. I don't know how that happened. Yeah. And then he left. And then we went and told Kip, and we're like, hey, Kip, our informant's dead. He just got fireballed to the face. And Kip was like, gee. Well, I can arrange a cleric to speak with the dead spell for you guys. And we're like, cool, man, thanks. And we stared at a building for a little bit. We really wanted to climb it like cats. We're just a bunch of cats, apparently, but we're not allowed to climb it. We've also been informed many times that there's nothing on there, but we still want to climb it.
It's fine. You do you.
That's pretty much it.
Well done. The only thing that you missed is Kip was also able to tell you... no, I'm sorry. The noble lady was also able to tell you, Jazzarine was her name, that it looked like the character she saw looked like one of those nimble rights that you see at the parades on more reflection. And Kip was able to tell you that if it was a nimble right, you might want to go see the House of the Inspired Hands, who are the only place in town who would make them, because it is a temple to Gond, who is the god of all smithy. So you had that. You also found from an eyewitness that there was one person who survived the blast. That person walked over to the rock gnome, seemed to have got something from him, and walked away towards, you're not really sure what, but they was in the direction of another, of a furniture shop called the Rusty Nail.
Yeah. So
But
basically what I said.
Yeah. So well done. There's your inspiration. I say like I'm physically handing you something.
My golden star.
You got a gold sticker.
Yeah, gold star. We're going to put this on the fridge right here, and you can use it anytime you want.
Great. I'll use it for the next time I have to roll perception for dead bodies, and I keep rolling 6s.
That way you can roll 2 6s.
That way I can roll 4 6s.
Right. Oh, man. All right. So, what's the plan? What's the dealio?
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I wanted to go to the Inspired Hand. But we can also go over to the Bed and Nail and go, hey, has anyone here stolen anything?
Well, which one's closer?
That's a good question. Give me a second. I'll find out for you.
I start climbing the roof.
Get down.
The bent nail would actually be closer. Sorry, I said rusty nail. It's the bent nail. That would be closer.
The furniture store.
Mm-hmm. Because the House of the Inspired Hands is in a completely different part of town.
Ah.
All right,
Okay.
and this is for Criana. The House of the Inspired Hands is the place where they build the animatronics.
They don't really build them there, but they maintain them. Most nimble rights are built elsewhere, but they could build them. They maintain them. Basically, anything that has to do with them is where it comes from there.
Okay, and then the bent nail is where we saw the fool running.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, let's head over the bat. Well, okay, gang. Do you want to head over to the bent nail, and then if that yields nothing, we'll head over to the other place.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can be
that
if we want to be sneaky about it, we could probably be like, "Hey, we're from that tavern. We're just looking to buy some new furniture."
If it got exploded.
Yeah.
Looks like one of our chairs that we put outside exploded.
Yeah, that was crazy,
We do
right?
have a legitimate table that actually did get broken through.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Huh.
So we have a good reason to be there.
You guys should look into your exploding furniture problem.
Yeah, this seems to be a recurring theme.
This
I
is
feel like we need
not
to
good
get
for
on this
business.
real quick.
Right.
I
It's gonna
feel
get
like
very
you're
expensive.
gonna have trouble insuring your tavern if this keeps up.
It might be a good idea.
Location. Have we checked out the school district? Like, what are we? What is it like? That's all I want to know. I don't know about you guys.
It's Ardenfell. There are no schools. Everyone is illiterate.
I'm sorry. What does that look like to you?
A circle?
In the circle.
Guys.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let's. I'm sorry. I digress. I'll just get rid of that. Don't mind me.
All right, so you guys make your way towards the
Before
bed
we
now?
go,
Yes.
Arthur's gonna check up on Maggie and make sure she's okay, tell her what happened, and probably tell her it would be a good idea to maybe stay there and lay low for a bit, because if fireballs are happening outside, whew, I don't know what could happen if she were to try and head over to the Mage Academy by herself.
Maggie looks up and goes, "Fireballs? What do you mean?
Fireballs.
What fireballs?
Oh, honey.
You didn't hear the explosions?
No? Were there explosions?
Yes. I told you there were
Oh.
explosions that we were going to look at.
Yeah, you did. You told her to stay here. She had her nose buried in books.
Okay.
Remember I said she had no problem staying where she was.
Yeah, he's just gonna pat her on the head and go, "Just stay here. We'll be back."
Well, no, is everyone all right?
Yes.
Fireballs are very dangerous. They're very hot.
Everybody is fine.
Everybody important is fine.
Roll me a deception check.
What? Okay.
There's tons of dead people.
True, and he doesn't lie. He's going to say, everybody from our group is fine. There were a few casualties outside.
Oh, that's terrible. Well, who's? And she starts looking indignant. Who's throwing fireballs in the middle of a day?
It was a puppet thing.
You mean like it's someone that's under the control of something much larger? Like they're just a puppet to some sort of scheme or something?
Oh, honey.
No, that like that little clockwork dragon a shoe had, but like a humanoid.
She kind of takes
You got the strings.
You
and
mean
they do
a
the
nimble
dance?
right?
Yes,
But nimble rights can't cast magic.
it was a necklace. They
Oh,
threw.
they can.
They threw a thing.
Well, that's terrible.
Yes.
Someone should find them and their owners and give them a good talking to. Why, this is completely unacceptable.
Maggie.
And she closes her book and
Maggie.
stands up. No. We're gonna go find their owner. This is unacceptable behavior.
Maggie, we're going to do that.
Good. And she starts gathering her gear.
But are you coming with?
Yeah, but someone needs to talk to their owner.
We will.
Yes, we will. I feel like we're saying the same thing here. Are you okay?
But what about the mirror?
She looks at the mirror.
Doesn't somebody need to watch it? Please.
Oh, it's like she completely forgot. She just slowly puts her pack down. Right. Well, then you, and she comes up to you and sticks a finger in your chest. You find whoever owns that Nimblewright, and you tell them that magical items are not to be used irresponsibly. People could die. People did die. You find them and you tell them that.
Of course. We'll do that.
Good. Okay. Be careful.
Of course. Watch the mirror, please. Make sure that doesn't go away.
She sits back down next to the mirror.
I'll be really sad if it goes away.
She nods. That's fine. The Black Staff is coming to get it herself sometime today, or maybe tomorrow.
Oh,
It depends
you
on
told
how busy
her?
she is. Oh, yes, absolutely.
How?
What do you mean, how?
I
I
thought-
have a little spell that I can send messages to.
Oh! I thought you didn't. I thought we needed to find a way. Okay, good.
What? And she cocks her head.
I don't know what magic you have, I'm sorry.
I'm a wizard, silly.
Yeah, well, true. Stay here, okay?
She nods.
We'll be back. I'll tell you all about it.
She nods again. She looks like she really doesn't want to stay here, but there's a mirror.
Mm-hmm. And now we're gonna head out.
Perhaps Ty could stay here.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
And then I'll have a solo session with Ty. Ty, roll for boredom.
Should we just say that Ty stays back because she's not here?
No,
That
I'm
might-
honestly no. The thing is that Maggie was probably never going to go with you once she realized that the mirror's still there. She just gets overly excited.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Also, it would be really sad if, we were in the middle of something really cool and we didn't bring Tyburn along,
True.
and Tyburn was just sitting there.
Just have a solo session where it's literally like, so you want to read a book? There's lots of books there.
I wonder what my friends are doing.
But they're having a real good adventure.
that FOMO hitting real hard.
Ty,
Mackenzie comes back and then there's man, you missed so much because I couldn't
Ty,
bring you along.
the grain on that wall kind of looks like a face. That's cool if you look at it long enough.
It's your dead face.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Yikes!
Ha ha.
Mackenzie's not here to kill me.
Well.
Sure. So you do all of this behind her back. I see how it is.
Let's move on, shall we?
Anyway, we head out.
Anyway, I started blasting.
To the nail of bending. You guys walked through the streets, and things are starting to return to normal, with the exception of the giant blast mark. All the bodies have been removed. The guards are no longer cordoning off the area, but there is a heavier patrol than usual. You make your way to the Bent Nail. You've never quite been there before. Typically, Darian or, Winston, as you know him now, handled the purchasing of all the furniture. But there's a sign on the door that says open. And you can smell woodworking from inside and see several chairs and tables set up in the window.
Kai will open the door, poke her head in.
There's a little bell on top. It goes ding, 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 ding. And you hear from the back of the store,
Oh, no, come on in.
Kai turns to the group and goes, I think we are allowed in. And she'll open the door and for everyone.
Okay.
Are
Arthur
you sure?
heads
Should
in.
we ask again?
Are you sure this isn't a sick house?
I don't think I speak this language.
Arthur already headed in.
You guys walk in and you see a very well kept store with neat rows of chairs and tables and nightstands and a few beds in the corner. It's very fine craftsmanship, if not the best, highest quality materials. Right, this is certainly still a store for a poorer section of town, but the craftsmanship is very nice, and the smell of cedar and pine is everywhere. And from a room in the back comes out a very large man with broad shoulders. He has a mostly bald head. He's got a little bit of hair on the sides and a few wisps on top, and a very large, like walrus mustache. And he is currently wiping his hands off on a cloth. He goes, come on, you got a chair?
No, thank you. We're here to look at furniture.
Yeah, furniture. I'll help you.
Do I need to make a wisdom save right now? What is happening?
Roll me an insight check, I guess.
Sure. Come on.
Ooh, can I try and decipher what he's saying with my broken English?
Oh, God.
I mean, I'll leave that up to you as a player, whether or not, because he's speaking common. He's just not very good at it, and he's got a very large mustache, and it seems like this is just how he talks.
Oh, wait. Kai will approach the man. Sir, I'm having difficulty understanding what you are saying. Would you mind if I lifted up your mustache so I could read your lips?
No.
And he leans back from you, looking a little upset.
Kai, I don't think he liked that. I think we offended him.
For family and a large mustache and pride.
I find your mustache quite becoming. I just wish to see your lips.
Wait.
He pats you on the head. Young. He blushes a little bit.
Oh my god. Dolma's gonna try speaking in a different language.
Ryan's just gonna start looking around the room.
As you're doing that, he actually walks to the counter and picks up what looks to be like a framed drawing or painting. It's a picture of him and a rather robust woman beside him, and looks at Kai and says, I'm going to find a wife.
Your wife is quite lovely.
Thanks.
No, I think you misunderstood. I am not trying to pursue you as a mate. I am just trying to see your lips. Could you just lift your mustache up ever so slightly? She's speaking very loudly too. He can't.
He looks at you for a while. No.
Oh, he said no. Oh, he said no.
No.
Might I ask what your name is?
Yeah. Oak-Tilfum.
Oak-Tilfum.
No. Oak-Tilfum.
Oak-Tilfum.
No, he comes up to you. Oak-Tilfum.
Oak-Tilfum.
And he just kind of waves his hand.
Oh my god. Dolma's gonna try speaking in Orcish, see if that helps.
What did you say?
Can you understand this?
He just cocks his head and looks at you. It points to a sign that says "Only speak common."
Oh my god.
Is what she says in Orcish.
You have to on tables? And like looks at the tables and like motions to them.
Yes, actually, I wanted to inquire about a table. See, I'm sure you heard all about the explosion, right?
Oh my god.
Yes, I know. It was so terrible. Well,
Boom.
yeah, I mean,
That certainly was the noise.
we had a friend of ours. They were gonna buy a replacement table, and we thought they might come here. I don't suppose you saw anyone come in after the explosion.
Oh, one gentleman, burn into the face.
Oh my gosh, he's burning in the face. Well, that might be him. Can you tell us where he went?
And he like strokes his mustache.
Kai, real quick, Dulma messages you just like, could you do the memory thing, maybe?
Oh.
Oh, hell yeah.
She's like,
Growlhund.
Right, actually, I have a better idea. I know this trick that if you think about the person's face, it's a real cool magic trick. I can see it. All you have to do is close your eyes and think real hard, and I'll do the same.
I told him I'm married.
Oh my god. Dulma shakes her head just like, no, I've seen her do it. It's actually incredible.
No, we all watched. Don't worry.
No.
Oh my god.
That's all you want to friend the burning face, the Growlhund.
I'm worried about
and he
my
points
friend.
outside.
Can I please? I just want to know if my friend is okay. Can I please see the face to know if it's him? Please allow this.
And he points to the sign below the sign that says "Common Only." It says "No Magic." Something about
Damn it, Squee!
Something about perhaps destructive spells in a furniture shop.
Can Ori be like behind him so that way he's like turned away from the group and ask, so describe his face.
How would you be behind him? He's at the counter.
Oh, he's behind the counter. I thought you said that like he went
Or
around.
he out behind the counter.
He went behind the counter to grab the picture of him and his wife.
Okay, so he wasn't initially. Got it.
Right, correct.
Or for Rita's shopping.
Yeah,
behind the counter?
No, he was. I don't know what that counter
about
is.
his ways.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. First of all, I would like who would probably know? Ashu and Dulma, roll me a knowledge history check. Ashu, you with advantage.
Yeah, sure.
17. That's not bad.
That's not bad at all. Dulma. There's a word that sounds familiar. Growlhund. He said Growlhund, and that kind of tickles your mind. Why Growlhund? Oh, that's a noble house.
Growlhund. Did you say it was someone from the Growlhund house?
No, there's no way. Going on walking, came in two Growlhund.
They're heading towards them?
No. And
my God.
he goes to the window and points out across the river. I should probably show you guys on the map where you are. So, the bent nail is. Hang on, let me get the my little draw shape thing. The bent nail is this one right here. right next to the dock because they get their loads of lumber straight from the river.
Mhm.
And he points across the river to this house right here.
So they headed over there?
And he starts
And-
making swimming motions.
They were... You just let them jump off your dock?
Busy. Make chairs.
I can get behind that.
I want to
Wasn't
clip
any of
that.
my fucking business. I gotta make furniture.
Hold on. I want to fucking clip that, because that was golden, Squee. Good job. I want to set that as my ringtone, my text message sound. Make chairs.
Remember it.
Oh, I make
Oh,
chairs. Oh, is he still in the water?
Well, what does that have to do with the noble house? She holds up her hands in a framing motion around his face, not right up against his face, but in front of hers, she's thinking about something and then just grips her hand.
He starts blushing.
She just grips her hands into fists, shakes her head nope, this is, okay, yeah. And she just walks out onto the back dock.
As you're about to, he just laughs and boops you on the nose.
No, he's gonna have to roll to hit.
Oh, he's not going to.
Oh, you don't want to piss off her, dude. Don't know.
So there's a it's not like the back room. There's a side of the store that goes directly to the docks. It's well within your view, so you can walk out to there.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll walk out with you, and he will go to the dock, and he'll be like, "It's really simple. Well, on the dock, ran off, jump, and just that way." And then just points towards the house.
Anyone fancy a swim?
Hey, Shu, do you want to investigate anything?
Kaitana says, anyone fancy a swim, as there's literally a bridge 300 feet away.
Too far.
Joke! No.
Ashu will look at you, start signing at you.
Doesn't understand sign.
She
Squints messages. What?
She takes out a piece of paper, pretends to scribble, hands it to you, and also the utensil.
Do you want her to write it down? What is happening?
That's a good question. She seems to not try to give anything away. You're gonna have to try to interpret what she's trying to do.
Oh, motherfucker. She kind of gently waves it towards the man, just you want him to write? What? You're asking too much of me. I'm a bard. You can't ask me to think.
She looks at you blankly and tries to take back the pen and paper.
Hands it back.
She then very quickly jots down And she starting a phrase on her paper, and then it's basically it starts out. Oh, he is saying something about the house, and then whatever that house's name is. And then he hands it over to she hands it over to who would probably Kai. Sorry.
So what does the paper say?
It's he's talking about the house blank, or the house title. And
could you
and he
spell
goes,
the noble
also,
house?
Sure,
Sweet.
Growlhund. Hang on a second.
Growlhund.
It's not, that's hard when it comes from that guy's mouth.
And
Big
then
chairs.
it stops
Big
there,
chairs.
and it just hands it to you.
Kai will. Did you hand her the
And-
pen?
She hands you the paper and pen, and she marks down writing. So she has a handout. She has a little scribble thing.
Okay. Kai stares for a moment, and she'll she keeps making eye contact with Ashu as she slowly raises her pen and puts it on the paper, seeing if Ashu seems to approve of this.
She doesn't disapprove. She gives a small nod.
You see Kai starting to write an H, then an O, W, space, and then the rest of it says, "Is this relevant?" ?
She nods. She give it back.
Mm-hmm.
She nods vigorously and starts writing out the rest of this, which is basically a full list of what relevance does this have for the house this, and she then holds up the piece of paper to the man, and then signs. It is basically just asks hey, how is this relevant for this house?
He looks at you after a while. Oh, mute. And he just kind of looks at you and then shrugs. I got my dog to jump in the river splash.
I think she's
She-
deaf.
She points out her ear.
Oh. And then he'll turn to whoever's closest to her and motion for you to talk to her.
I think she wants you to write.
What?
Because she cannot hear anything.
Roll me a
Please.
persuasion check.
What?
Should I?
With advantage. Someone with advantage because you're all
I
trying.
will do it.
Yeah, do it.
Please don't make me roll
Advantage.
for perception. Please don't. There you go. You did it.
He looks at you and then blushes. Oh, okay. Takes it. And starts writing down in
Don't want to be one of those ableist pricks, do you?
one of those. He writes down in beautiful handwriting, like a shoe. This makes you melt. You've seen a lot of handwriting in your days, but this man must have taken calligraphy at some point. And
he's on my level.
yeah,
Penmanship of a god.
and writes, I saw a man that had a burned face. He came in. He did not want anything. He went to the back of the dock, jumped into the river, and started swimming towards the Grolhund villa. And then he hands that to you. And then he looks at the others and then goes, I don't want to go back inside. Cheers to me.
She reads it, she
Make
nods,
choice.
and then signs thank you.
He nods.
And, she like wraps up the paper and then does like a big motion with her hands and arms to like exit.
He holds up a finger. And he like goes in the back room, and you start hearing shuffling. And then you see like something get thrown against a wall, and then like something else kind of thrown, and then and then he comes back out, and he's holding a beautifully carved and polished ear horn.
She her face alights and she writes down on her now folded piece of paper, your craftsmanship is as beautiful as your handwriting.
Oh my god.
I'm married.
Not too young
make
now,
choice.
huh?
Two gold.
Oh, damn, that's rude.
Points at her
About the ear horn.
She points at her ear, and she then like writes down, "Did you say 1 gold?"
You always trying to get a deal.
Roll me a deception check.
Wait, you said perception?
No,
Deception.
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 Okay, not with advantage. There you go.
Nice.
He kind of looks at you for a bit. Yeah.
She like stands there, like completely still. Was that a yes?
He did nod his head, so it definitely
Okay,
seems
good.
like he does. From the context,
Yes. Oh, that's great. She will buy it with 2 gold and write down an extra gold for excellent work.
no. And you hear the door open behind you, and a little gnome walks in.
Hey, everybody! Oh,
No, wrong gnome. Bambi walks in. Oh, hello. I didn't expect to see you all here.
A shoe picks up the horn and leaves.
Hi, happy to see you. Gotta go. Bye.
Yeah. As
Later.
you guys are leaving, Bambi nods to you all, walks up to him. Oh, yes, thank you. I'm glad that you were able to. Yes, over here, thank you. And Bambi just starts like picking up a table. Apparently, perfectly capable of understanding this man.
Yeah, sounds about right. He's full of that kind of bullshit.
Well, there you
Bambi
go.
his wife?
Congratulations. Huh?
Is Bambi his
No.
wife?
Not
Oh
from the
my
picture
god,
you
no.
saw, no.
She
Okay.
is not nearly big enough.
No, apparently she's picking up a new table for the one that broke.
Wow, cool.
Oh, man. So, there you go. Mission accomplished.
Make
Understand
choice.
man.
I will stress that from what you've seen or what he wrote you, the man who's swimming towards the Grolhund Villa doesn't know what happened, doesn't know if he got there, doesn't know what happened when he reached the other side of the river. He was just pointing out that's the direction he was headed.
Mm-hmm.
But we do know that he has a burned face right now.
yeah. How about
Mhm.
what's the time frame as far as like when the explosion happened to when we are now? Like it's a couple hours, right?
About 2 hours, yeah.
Damn.
So,
Yeah.
You guys were quarantined, I guess you could say, for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they had to question everyone.
That's true.
Yep.
I mean, just for kicks, while they're out there, Kai would be just looking up and down the river to make sure there's no floating bodies.
No floating body. Roll me a perception check, though.
Okay. Clickety click, clicky, click all the things. Perception.
Click clack.
Click clock clicky.
Okay. You're looking in the river, and you don't see any bodies or anything, but in the shallow part, near where you are, with the part that's only like 2 or 3 feet deep, you do see at the bottom a very shiny golden type of necklace. Which maybe, actually, it's maybe less than a foot deep.
Oh. Well, if he turns around to head back in, she'd probably try and grab it.
Sure. So he's not paying much attention to you. He's dealing with Bambi, trying to get the table and all that. You reach down to grab it, and you hear a loud "Ah!" and this crow flies in and picks it up and starts cawing at you, flapping its wings.
She's gonna fight it.
I saw it first, you fucker!
Roll me initiative. Hang on.
We're all rolling initiative?
Right now, it's only Kai.
Okay.
Oh Christ!
Anyone?
How do I roll initiative again?
Click on your token, go to your character sheet, and above your hit points is initiative.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got it.
Don't forget to click your token, though.
Oh shit! It's an 8. I didn't click my token though.
Well done.
That's fine. We don't really need to worry about it. So it's an 8. So it caws at you. Hang on a second. Give me a moment.
It caws menacingly.
Let's see. Well, yeah, there we go. That'll work. As you kind of reach out for it, it caws at you menacingly, and then makes a little peck at your hands, which is a d20 plus 5. What's your AC?
12.
Definitely a hit. You take 1d1 slashing damage.
Ow!
And it flies off. You can make an opportunity attack if you like.
Eldritch Blast.
Oh my god! You can't do Eldritch Blast as an opportunity attack. you can only try and hit it.
Wait, do you have Warcaster?
You have to have Warcaster to be able to spellcast as a reaction.
I don't know what that
All
is.
you can do is make a melee attack. Then.
What's your feat?
She doesn't have any feats.
If she took a feat.
She's a drow. She has no feats.
Oh my god.
What?
Mm-hmm. On level 4, I don't think she took a feat. I think she took an ability increase.
Oh, okay.
She
Then no problem.
Sounds about right.
Criana took a feat which allowed her to have drow magic.
Right.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
The high drow.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you can make a melee attack, which would be basically just roll me a d20 plus your strength. So a d20 plus 1.
Oh, God. Okay, fine. I'll try slapping at it.
Yeah, there we go. This thing doesn't have a lot of hit points, so maybe you could. Oh my god!
Nice. Oh, she wants that necklace.
You hit it for 2 points. Now this thing has 1d4 minus 1 hit points. So let's see how many hit points it has. You slap it down.
You slam dunk that thing straight into the dock.
You heavy punch it, it flies, the necklace still there in the air, catch it.
Kaitanas from an anime.
Oh my god. Was this not clear?
Oh man. So I'm curious. Was this non-lethal damage or lethal?
It has to be for unarmed.
Unarmed?
No.
Yeah, it can be either.
Yeah.
You can still
Really?
kill someone
Okay.
by punching him in the throat or something. But I think the default would be not trying to kill.
Yeah, no, I think she's just basically trying to get this bird away from it. So I
Right.
don't think it would be legal.
So you slam it down into the dock with a
like
slap.
grab it by the neck.
And you catch the necklace. You have the necklace in your hand, and it kind of like shakes its head and flies off about 10 feet away and starts cawing at you incessantly. But it doesn't seem to want to get close to you as it's very hurt.
Oh, you fucked up. You've pissed off every single crow in the entire city now.
This is like Legend of Zelda, where all of them are going to come out and attack you. Kai kind of tilts her head and says, "What's so good about this?" And she's going to look at the necklace. Does it look familiar?
Roll me an investigation check.
Does it look fancy? Oh, shit.
Wow.
Tell me your secrets.
Tell me, necklace. Speak to me.
Okay.
Looks
So,
at paper.
this-
If person rolls crit, then
You look at the back of the necklace. It says Strahd.
It's a fairly simple necklace made of what looks to be, you can tell now it's a fake gold, or it's not real gold, right? It's more like a golden coated type of metal, but it's decent craftsmanship, and it has one small little pearl on it, and on that pearl, very tiny, almost too tiny for jeweler's tools to be able to make, is a perfect little symbol. Roll me an Arcana check.
Okay.
You're not familiar with the symbol.
Kai will look over to a shoe.
she's out the door with a horn.
Oh, that's right, because Bambi. Kai will glance up at the crow and then follow after a shoe. And then once she catches up, she'll go, "Ashu, can you hear me now?"
She puts a horn to her ear. Try again.
How about now? She kind of leans down into the horn.
It works marvelously well.
It's very loud. Okay.
Ashu, I found something in the water. I was wondering if you could look at the pearl in the pearl. There's like a
Gah! Gah! There's a crow hovering about 10 feet above Kai.
Yeah, I slam dunked that thing, so it might be a little upset.
Is it her?
Oh, it's just a crow. Don't worry. They always
What?
upset.
Well, it seems like it wanted this. Ashu,
Yeah, because it's shiny.
Is that what crows are known for in Ardenfell?
That's what I know them for. Besides being little bastards.
Go ahead, Ashu.
Don't say the little bastards. They know. They will remember. All of them do.
I mean, I enjoy the little bastards. But they
I
are little
still-
bastards.
I still slam dunked it, and I'm afraid I'm going to die. Could you please look at the symbol in the pearl and let me know if you recognize it?
I guess so. It takes a very hard squint at the pearl.
Roll me an
Domo
Arcana
Welcome?
check. Sure, with aid.
Ooh,
Can I attempt to look
that's
too?
advantage, right?
Sure. With advantage, yeah, because you're getting aided and she's telling you exactly where to look.
With advantage for me too, or no?
You can't get double advantage.
Yeah, you can't. Well, no, I mean, no one's helping you per se, so.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Normal roll.
Stares
Let's check it out.
intensifiers.
Come on, Arthur. Oh,
Yay! Normal roll for Arthur.
A shoe. That is an arcane symbol, generally similar to like a watermark or something that a wizard would put on something that they have created. Something that way people can know it is their work, if that makes sense. You aren't familiar with this particular one, but that's not unusual. There must be thousands of wizards and thousands of different marks, right?
Right.
But you're familiar enough with the idea, the concept.
Well, two things. It's a wizard mark. It is for I'm assuming a magic item because this was made.
Huh. Hey, Ori, could you put this on?
Does this thing look like a normal crow, or like maybe familiars just look like normal animals, right?
I was gonna say, would you know? It looks like a normal crow.
Orit, I was gonna say, while all of the talk was happening, Orit was using, like, prestidigitation or something to, like, make shiny things for the crow.
Well, now you're just teasing him.
See if, like, it goes for it, because if it's, like, a person, then it wouldn't go for it. But if it's a crow, it might go for it.
All right. Roll me a performance check, I guess.
Can you entertain a bird?
Are you bird enough?
I'm sorry. I did not, it was 16.
All right. The bird does not seem distracted in the slightest.
Mm-hmm.
Kai will...
Ishu looks at the bird for a little bit and then goes and casts animal message.
Right, you know that spell.
And what would you like to say?
She says in, like, Abyssal, I just want to check something, and then sends it, tries to send that through that particular beast, and then to herself.
I'm confused.
I
see. I see. You're trying to use it as an animal messenger to see if you can.
Yes.
Yeah, it does not work.
Okay, yeah, that's totally a familiar.
That's not an animal. She says out loud.
Oh? It's more of a bastard.
I no longer fear for my life, at least.
There.
Crow. Hello. Would you like to speak with us if you can?
There is a pause. The bird lands on the ground, hops towards you, and then says, I believe you have something that belongs to me.
Ooh, he's got a sensual voice.
This is the sexiest bird we've ever seen.
Does it sound like Winston? Like what?
It does
I don't know.
not,
Those kangaroos were pretty sultry.
No. No. Winston's a deeper, less feminine voice.
Okay, just making sure. It
I
sounded
understand.
very similar. So I
Mhm.
was like, is Winston messing with us?
And then it cocks its head. Kindly return it.
Now, why was it in the water?
That's my business, not yours.
Well, I have it and you don't.
That is a very unwise stance to take.
Could you tell me your name?
It cocks its head to the side again. My name is Manshun. I am one of the most powerful wizards in the city, and you have something that belongs to me. Give it to my familiar.
Where are you located?
That is my concern, not yours. Or would you have me contact the city guard? The item has my mark on it. It's easy enough to detain.
Do you have one I can compare it to, so I know for sure it's yours? It's like missing a wallet. I don't want to give it to anyone. Surely you can respect that.
Petulant child, one last time, give it to me, or I'll pursue other methods that you will not find pleasant.
I will give it to the guard, and they can deal with it. How about that?
The crow turns its head to the side. I'll make sure that you do.
I'm sorry about slam dunking you before.
Slam dunking.
If you think you're talking to a crow, then you truly are a child. Return the item to me or give it to a guard, I care not. Keep it for yourself. and you will incur my wrath.
Sorry, it's just a bird. Sorry, this is Criana. It's very
I know.
Kai
Why are you talking
kind of
so much
frowns.
shit, bird?
Yeah, Kai kind of frowns like, you really know how to butter a girl up.
I am not interested in you. Only the necklace.
Clearly.
Rude.
Well,
Damn, the shopkeep wasn't interested. The bird isn't interested. People are just dissing you, Kai.
I
You can stand for that?
Kip's
No.
interested.
He's the only one that matters. Kai bites her knuckle. Kai kind of smiles and says, I'm used to it. Anyway, well, if you would like to speak with us face to face and have a nice conversation, not one that's, well, quite frankly, quite rude, I'm a little heartbroken. I'm willing to accept that and maybe give it to you in person.
If you think I have the time or the desire to deal with simple peasants, then you're wrong.
You have the time. I'm sorry, but your necklace was in a river.
Thank you for pointing out the obvious. I suppose that's what you're good for.
All right, Mr. Birdman. Look, we'll give it to the guard, and that's that.
Good. Look, someone with sense.
Now go fly away and go peck at someone's wig or something.
The bird seems to take flight and hover about 20, 30 feet above you.
So are we going to give it back, or what's the plan?
Throw it back in the
like,
fucking
look-
river.
Shu and Dolma, roll me knowledge history to see if you've ever heard of Manchun.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Mm-hmm.
Dolma, just give her advantage. I'm sorry for this shit.
Sure,
Okay.
that works too.
All right. Let's see. History, you say? Okay.
History.
A shoe will roll some history. A 15. That's
Yeah, that's not bad. You've heard of Manchun. He is a prominent wizard, known for being in Ardenfell. He keeps to himself. He doesn't really concern himself with wizards very much. And because of that, any number of rumors spread about him that he's secretly involved with all kinds of different factions. Maybe he's part of the underground. Maybe he's just a hermit. Some people believe that he has aspirations for the throne. Other people believe that he's just a wizard that doesn't like people and just keeps to himself. You've heard all kinds of things, and unfortunately, it's almost impossible to know what the real Manchun is like, because no one really ever sees him.
Rude. That's what.
Well, you might know more than most.
Aren't we just lucky? Aren't we lucky, Kai?
Oh, yes. So, are
She-
we keeping it or what?
She taps her foot for a second. I guess a short aside conversation. Would you mind, Manchun? I actually have something a little personal to discuss.
Oh, he's already the bird is already 30 feet up in the air.
Oh, it just can't hear us from this point?
You don't know, but it's not responding to you.
Oh. I guess not. Well,
I mean, if you want, I can mage hand him down.
no. No.
Do you want me
Yeah,
to
Dolma's
No,
roll
I
that
didn't
just
think
shaking
that was
her
a good
head.
idea. No.
She will just say, well, either way, I do have a personal venture, and I would love to actually bend your ear about it. I think you would be at least somewhat interested in it. You might hear about it a few days later.
The bird just continues to circle above you. You're not sure if it can understand you or not. Yes, Arthur, you have a plus sign.
Did you want me to relay that? Because I can relay that. My telepathy is 120 feet. If.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Okay.
Like, I mean, you can try if you'd like. I don't think it would be wise to invade someone's mind like that.
Okay.
Remind me, Arthur, what kind of telepathy do you have? What is it stated? Is it something that has to speak a language with you, or is it the one where you can talk to anything that has intelligence above 2?
Creature must be able to understand at least one language.
Gotcha.
Or be telepathic itself.
All right. You send the message to it. There's no response. It just circles above you.
Okay. There you go.
All right.
Well, I say we just give it to a guard before he starts pooping on us or something.
And I will let you know, though, Arthur, with your telepathy, it could have understood it, but you can talk to it. That does not mean it can talk to you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
But so if it can understand the message, it would have got it.
Yeah. I had a feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
But so it's been relayed. What are you guys doing? What's plan 2?
I was saying that we should just give it to a guard before the bird starts shitting on us.
Yeah, it does seem like it's taking aim, doesn't it?
I find it curious that it's in the place where we were, chasing someone.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely suspicious, but I mean, we're not gonna get anywhere with this rude fuck.
I'm sure it's entirely a coincidence. Dolma says completely deadpan.
We at least have the memory of you looking at the necklace.
You guys hear on the road, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, as the little gnome Bambi is carrying a table above her head, weaving in and out of people back towards the tavern.
Efficient.
I mean, it's magical, right? Is Criana talking? It's magical?
It's most likely
We would have
magical.
to identify it.
We have not determined if it's magical.
Right, you'd have to cast a detect magic or an identify or something of that nature. In fact, Criana, look at your feet. I believe that's something you can do.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I can detect magic.
Yeah,
I think you can
you
do
got
that.
drow
And you
magic.
might be able to do that at will, actually.
If I
don't
recall
Kind of
correctly.
identify, but that's fine.
She also has identify.
Oh,
Let me look
either
it
one
up.
works, I guess.
Well, but if we should look it up, because if you can do it at will, then you're not
Yeah.
wasting any resources. Hang on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
5e feats. Give me a second here.
I'm looking it up in the PDF right now.
Gotcha.
Or you can probably find it in D&D Next.
I'm looking now. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-wah.
Doesn't matter what comes!
It won't tell me. It just tells me it's in Xanathars.
Draw high magic.
darn it.
You learn one more. You can cast it at will without spending a spell slot.
Mm-hmm. So you can just cast it whenever you want, Criana.
Yeah, so
Oh,
detect
cool.
magic whenever.
Okay, I'm gonna make a note that says whenever on my spell sheet. Yeah, she'll cast detect magic then.
All right. It is magical.
So what does it do?
That you don't know.
Identify can do that.
Yeah, but she was
Identify
helping.
can do that.
do. Party, you good with that? You wanna?
It's up to you, man. It's your spell slot.
All right.
Do it from Dolma.
I'm gonna go do that. Do you want it to have it be exact, or do you want me to just cough up the money?
What do you need? Don't you just need a diamond? It doesn't consume the diamond.
It is
No,
a
it's not a
pearl
diamond, it's a
worth
pearl.
100
Yeah,
gold.
Pearl. I thought you already bought one. It doesn't consume it. You just need to have it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you had already purchased one.
A pearl, specifically?
Yeah,
a pearl
because
on the necklace.
you've cast Identify before, haven't you?
Not on an item, I don't think.
Oh, well, you guys are in town. It's easy enough. Cough up the 100 gold. You have a pearl now and forever. Because it doesn't consume it. You just need to have it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It
I'm
will
sure
stay
an owl
if
feather
it's
is
consumed.
easy enough to just be like, I got that at some point.
Yeah, you have a component pouch. That's fine.
All right. I'll
So
do
we'll
that.
say that a shoe would have a pearl on her. It makes perfect sense. Just cough up the 100. So you cast Identify. It is a cursed item.
Ooh.
It gives you resistance to fire and poison damage. But also, while you can't tell exactly to whom, it also makes you vulnerable to any sort of spell attack to a specific person. And Ashu, from what you get from this is something that is the type of item that is not savory. Basically, it's an item that can give you protection, but it's typically used among I wouldn't say slave owners, but basically people who want to have a edge up on you or want to make sure that you do what you're supposed to, if that makes sense.
I see.
Mm-hmm. And once you put it on, it cannot be taken off unless removed by some method other than yourself. In other words, you cannot remove it yourself.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh. Already almost put that on.
Already put this on.
Uh-huh.
God, say that. I was like, well, he wouldn't do it. Say anything. Oh.
All right, so now she knows about all this. She goes up. She aims her head up to the bird. Sure, you still don't want to talk?
The bird does not seem to hear or acknowledge you.
Okay. Let's go to our. Let's go turn this in. I think we know someone. What was his name?
Barnabas Blastwind.
That's the one. That's the one.
That's Barnabas.
Do we trust Barnabas?
Yeah,
No,
sure.
but
Why
do you-
not?
Or like, do you trust a crow?
I mean, no. I trust me. She paused between I trust and looks at the group and then goes me.
Give it to Baboom. Oh god.
Give it to Baboom. Well, I suppose.
It's you. I believe someone is talking about me.
Well, we let them sort it out.
I suppose you're right. Okay, let's go find this Blast Pants individual. Thank you. She gives like a genuine smile.
All right.
Oh, actually, if we're moving, Kai will kind of go up to Dalma and kind of grab her arm.
Like loop arms or just
No, just like grab it. Yeah, no, she's not being flirty. She's just trying to get your attention.
Can I help you?
Dalma, I wanted to apologize for my behavior earlier. It was rude of me when you were upset. I could have handled that better, and I'm sorry for that.
She looks a little bit confused, thinks back, and then like shakes her head. It's fine. Just
I hope we
Talk
can
with
still
us.
be friends. She looks like she's getting kind of upset.
You, what?
Well, I don't make friends easily, and I do not want to ruin my friendships I have. And I was quite rude, and so I just wanted to apologize.
It's like just real quick. Is this like a genuine apology?
Yeah. She looks pretty genuine.
She frowns for a moment and then shakes her head and gives a small smile. It's fine, really, Kai, honestly.
Okay, good. I will do better next time. I will give you a heads up. Doing something weird, you know. Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, we can go now.
All right, where to? You want to head to our watch station?
Woo!
Like a city
Head
guard watch
to-
station?
Do we want to just head straight? I mean, do we want to give it directly to this clown?
Well, you wouldn't know exactly where to find them. You've been told contact the guard if you need to get in touch with them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we could just say, "Hey, we have information he might want."
Yeah, you could.
You random guard!
Well, what I'm saying is, typically you would go to a city watch station, think of it like a police station type of thing, and then there you could be like, I need to talk to the flatulence man.
That person who has bad gas. Bring him to me.
It's an unfortunate surname, I promise. Is that what you guys intend to do? Because you have all kinds of options. You can still go to the House of the Inspired Hands. You can talk to dead people. There's a rooftop.
To the roof.
God, you're right.
Gosh, I so want to get up on that roof and just scream.
For all our viewers, because the players were stressing out so much, I saved them a little bit of time, and I was like, "There's nothing on the roof for you. It's fine," because they would have spent half the session trying to get.
I don't know, Squee. That seems like metagaming.
You're right. What was I thinking? Where's your grappling hooks?
Quick, throw Tyburn up there. Yeah, well, I say we just go for one of the watchtower places and go, hey, where is Fartwind? We have a theme for him.
I don't think we say those specific words.
I can
get
see
one of
already.
You get one of those Life of Brian moments where the guard's trying really hard not to crack up. What's the matter? Do you find something
About
say
because
you know those guards were those extras were not told what was going to happen, and they were told if they laughed they weren't going to get paid.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So they tried so
What a
hard.
dick.
Yeah.
Tried really hard. Oh man! All right. So the city watch stations are not hard to find. You would find the one closest to you. You'd be allowed in, of course. And actually, when you get in there, you see sitting behind the desk the sergeant that you spoke to, Arthur.
Hmm?
And he looks up and he'd be, "Oh, you again? Everything all right? Anything else you'd want to report?"
I think so. And he's gonna turn to the rest of the group.
We found an item that seems pretty suspicious, so we were going to give it to... What's his name?
Fartwind.
Yes, Fartwind. No, wait, I don't think that's it.
You are
That's the one you
referring
kept
to
saying.
Barnabas Blastwind?
Oh,
That one!
oops.
Yeah.
Yes, that one.
Right. Well, have a seat. I'll summon him.
Okay.
Are there enough seats for, like, all of our characters? Because we got a lot of people.
Kai sits on the floor.
I'll sit
Yeah,
on the
there's
floor.
there's like a front room. Like, I honestly don't know what a guard station would look like in medieval times, but I imagine there's a place for witnesses to sit.
4 walls and hay on the ground.
Yeah. It takes about 30 minutes or so. But eventually, Barnabas Blastwind and saith Corumly come. Ah, the tavern owners. I was told you had more information for me. Please, come in. And he'll motion you towards the back. And you'll all go into a separate room where there are several candles burning and a couple stacks of papers and several chairs. And he says, have a seat, please. And Cromley will kind of close the door quietly behind you. And he'll sit down, Barnabas will, and adjust his glasses. So...
Is the crow here?
No, the crow's not in the building.
Crow's just like outside the window, like points to his eyes, points to you, points to its eyes again. Has like a thumb grow out of its feathers and then like slices it across its neck.
Piercing crow eyes.
Got it.
He sits down and folds his hands. So, what brings you here?
Well, we were doing a bit of shopping. Shu, you're the one supposed to talk, actually.
She hangs her head a little bit. Yes, I remember.
Barnabas goes, that's a very odd way to phrase it. Well, I actually think I'd rather hear from you now.
Oh, well, I mean, didn't you hear about it when we did it before?
You guys didn't physically say that.
No,
I think we did, actually.
We did.
Not in front of him. Not in front of him. At least you didn't make that clear to me.
No,
I thought that was an out-of-character decision you all made.
No.
Because I would have reacted very differently if all of you in front of an inspector said, you know what, I think maybe you should talk.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
we all
because
started
we were all...
talking over each other.
we
Like
all,
now.
we all
Right.
talked
That's
over
fine.
each
It's
other at
fine.
one point.
It's totally fine. We can't go back and change it now, but he looks at you and goes, I think I'd actually rather hear from you then.
All right.
Kai.
Well, we were going in. The gentleman at the bent nail
The
said,
furniture store, yes.
yes, he said that a gentleman had come in earlier and actually ran through with a burned face and jumped into the river. And
Ashu hands you the piece of paper where he wrote it down.
oh, does this count? He actually wrote it down because we couldn't understand what he was saying.
Yes, he is an odd one, and Barnabas will take it and read it. It's definitely his handwriting. Odd. And he looks up at you. Why were you asking about such a man?
Because one of the furniture was all knocked over.
Aha. And you just happened to go to the one store a prime suspect for this crime happened to also go to? That's a astonishing coincidence.
Why, yes, we needed a new table.
Mm-hmm. And why would he tell you this? The gentleman at the bent nail isn't exactly what I'd call a gossiper.
Well, we are. She looks at the group.
And he folds his hands. So, you, people directly involved in this, just by coincidence happened to go to the one store that a suspect apparently went into and just happened to ask about it enough to get this information? Is that the story we're going with?
Yes, I believe so. She looks at the group. Does that sound right?
Roll me a deception check.
Can it be with advantage?
No, this is my burden to bear, guys.
No one else is talking.
I lied about one thing.
Arthur's trying very hard not to say anything. Because he knows that if he would be asked, he would actually just say the truth.
He continues, his hands clasped.
No, take my inspiration. Just take it.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, by all means, roll with inspiration.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I know. I mean, you're sitting in front of a
I think it's fine,
like-
to be perfectly frank.
I was gonna say, I think we're kind of on this guy's shit list no matter what we do.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I mean, you guys have seen his deductive capabilities.
Sure, fine, whatever. I'll keep my inspiration.
Okay. Kai will just shrug. Do you believe that we are involved in some way?
I'm starting to.
Oh.
I'm not very much a fan of people that walk into my office and lie to me, especially when this whole incident seems to revolve around your bar. So, perhaps, because I don't consider you suspects as yet, if you'd like to avoid that, you be a bit more honest with me. It's clear that this is not some sort of coincidence. You had reason to go here and ask about this, which means one of two things. You either knew something and didn't tell me, or you found out something after we spoke.
Kai just stares and kind of shrugs. I am not sure what you want me to say.
The truth would start, but if you're not willing to, perhaps someone else is. Look, I am not interested in your discretion. I am interested in solving this murder. That is my goal. Help me.
Kai kind of like gives him a look of like, well, I am confused. If we are suspects, why would we come in offering more information? That seems rather stupid.
No, not at all. Suspects always come in and offer information to mislead. I have met people who thought they were cleverer than us. I've met people who were actually very good at leading us off the trail. The point is, criminals come in all shapes and sizes, and I didn't say you're suspects. I simply said that you came into my office and lied to me, and that's very suspicious. And I'd rather you not be suspects. So please, a bit more honesty.
All right. Well, we went to the building across the street first, and we were like, how can we get to the roof?
Why would you want to go to the roof?
We were looking for a cat, I think.
Roll me a deception check.
Hi.
He looks at you. Mm-hmm. A cat.
Yes, I believe that is what Tyburn said. Right?
And he
Or maybe it
sighs.
was Dalma. No, it was Dalma. Dalma said it. I'm sorry, my memory is not as good as
Young miss, young miss,
Yes.
if all you're going to do is tell me falsehoods, you're of no use to me. Would someone else like to be more honest?
Wait.
Or are we done here?
Listen, you said I could talk because you didn't want to hear a shoe and I would like to speak. Now,
Yes, but all you're doing is telling me lies, little girl. I have been doing
but
this
I
my
did
entire
the
life.
Treat. We were looking for a cat. she
It's
looks.
Kai, it's very clear this guy is not buying it. Maybe his DC is much higher.
She looks distressed.
Shu tries to give her comforting pats on the back.
Poor Kai.
Wasn't there a cat? She like looks at Dalma. Am I misremembering that?
Mm.
He has his hands clasped in front of him and just looks at everyone. Are we done? Or is someone going to start speaking the truth?
Would you like to speak with me?
He's already addressed all of you more than once, saying, could someone else like to speak now?
Sorry.
That's fine.
When you,
It's like I just kept interrupting because she really wanted to keep going.
No, like legit. It was
Yeah,
a
I know.
cat.
It was not a cat at all, and you know that.
It was.
It was not a cat at all, and you know that. This is Criana, roll me, not Kai, Criana, roll me a deception check.
It was a cat.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, he's looking at the others, so that includes you, Ishu.
I don't know, I got a little, I didn't know if you actually wanted to talk to me at all after knowing that I was the speaker of the group.
I don't mind as long as people tell the truth. I'm getting very weary of this.
All right.
I don't want to give this guy. Criana, sorry. I don't want to give him the thing now.
Here's the truth. It's a
He's-
knife.
Criana, I'm sorry, but you're talking to a man who roots out lies for a living.
What do you think Kai's been doing for 23 years of her life?
Not rolling high enough, apparently.
Oh, you didn't have to come for her like that.
She will then go, alright, I guess we'll start at the beginning. We came in the office to give you information. Would you like to know that information?
I first would like to know why you were in that store seeking this information. People who apparently had nothing to do with this investigation.
She thinks for a moment. She goes back to eye contact. We were investigating.
Why?
She goes, alright, the 2 questions for you. Does investigating mean that we're doing something illegal?
Illegal? No.
Then why answer that question?
Because it's highly suspicious, especially when I told you we would take care of it.
So people are not allowed to be interested in this investigation.
Interested, perhaps, but if you had information, it would have been better to give it to us, the professionals, and let us deal with it instead of becoming amateur gumshoes yourself. You realize that we do this for a living and you don't, which means the chances of you screwing up the investigation are higher. I'm not trying to sound rude, I am simply laying down facts because you seem like someone that thrives off of such directness.
Alright, I'll be direct then. You do not want us to investigate. Yes? No?
I prefer to handle things on my own, yes. But at the moment, I'm much more interested in, 1, why you're so interested, and 2, what led you to that furniture store. You said you're investigating. I totally believe you, which means that you found something that would lead you to that furniture store.
She smiles a bit. I'm glad that you're not so brash to immediately say no. Alright. We are interested in the investigation. Why? That is because we're interested in the investigation. It happened right outside of our shop. A big explosion. Killed 12 people in front of us. And you don't think we, as people who like to help other people, wouldn't go out and even start questioning of our own volition? We even went to the guard and asked if we could investigate the roof. We thought something happened at. And no, it was not a cat. I'm sorry about that.
So you
And
don't
they said
have faith
we
in
were
us?
not allowed because you were in lead of the investigation. So we did things by the book. Are you okay with all of that?
No, frankly. I'm curious as to why you wouldn't let us investigate. You do realize that your investigation could hinder ours. Especially by the fact that you have information that led you to a furniture store you could have told us.
We did tell you that.
He cocks his head. Now hang on, the DM is trying to remember.
The only thing that we
you guys
didn't tell him, the only thing we didn't tell him, according to the, what I re-listened to yesterday, was the puppet on the roof. We told him everything else.
I'm looking at my notes. Okay, you're right. You did. And he sits there and he goes, and he pauses. Let's approach this another direction. So you've decided to take it upon yourselves because you don't trust the city guard for whatever reason. You go to the furniture shop and you pursue a supposed suspect. You realize this puts you in the spotlight, yes?
We've been in the spotlight a few times before, but really, a spotlight of a furniture store?
No. If you let me be frank, the gnome was headed towards your tavern. I don't directly know if you know why or not, though you believably could not know. However, now you're investigating and trying to track down someone who took something from him on your own instead of letting the guard do it. That is highly suspicious. It makes me think that there's something here you don't want us to find.
We're giving you information.
Yes, you are. But I'm curious as to why you didn't do that in the first place. Tell me something.
Because we got new information. I'm very...
We didn't have this information when we first spoke with you.
Yes, I understand. Perhaps we're miscommunicating here. No. He looks at you. Obviously, you're people that just prefer to do things on your own, so that question's not going to do anything. What information did you find? The man at the bar, at the store, had a man with a burned face come in and jump off his dock and swim towards the Glassrose.
Thank you. Now we're getting somewhere. Now...
Growlhound, sorry. Growlhounds.
Close enough.
Kai has found a necklace, which a crow was trying to get, which we then found was a familiar to a very powerful wizard, and she then takes out the necklace. Or does she have the necklace?
Sure.
Sure. She takes out the necklace and shows to him, this necklace was found and being tried to get by the crow. Was familiar with the... she's run through all that. And you can tell by the symbol on this that it belongs to him. Now, after discussion, he said to give it to either him or the guard, and we thought it would be good to give it to you first because it might be part of the investigation since it was in the path of the man who actually ran from the scene. After an identification, this is now known to be magical, being fire resistant, which I thought was very interesting, as well as another interesting fact, cursed, making the wearer keep it on without them being able to remove it.
Interesting.
I think that was something that was interested to give to you, and that's why we are here.
Can I see it? And he'll hold out a hand.
Absolutely.
He'll start examining it. Like, his demeanor completely changes. He's like, interesting. This could be why he's the only one to survive the explosion. Oh, slipped off as making an escape, perhaps. And you said... And he looks at the notes again. Interesting. The Growlhund, I don't know what business they would have, or if that's just pure coincidence, but very interesting. And who was the wizard that, and he looks at the symbol. I'm unfamiliar with this one.
I forgot his name.
Manchun. Manchun!
Manchun.
And she will just go, Manchun.
Yeah,
Manchun.
someone will.
He's a bit of a recluse. Interesting indeed.
He was quite rude, and his familiar was going right after it.
Yes, he does tend to be... Oh, what's the word? Excessively arrogant. Well, it's definitely something to look into. I agree with you. This is good information. Very well. My apologies. You seem to have done at least an adequate job, and I appreciate it. Thank you for coming to me. We will look into this. I think I will detach a guard to check on the Growlhund's villa and make sure everything's all right. I'll also speak to Manchun. I thank you all for the information, but from now on, I'd kindly suggest that you put your investigation on hold and let us deal with it. Rest assured, we'll get to the bottom of this.
So we're not allowed to do investigations.
No. You are officially not allowed to do investigations. I prefer to handle them on my own, as others tend to muck things up.
I appreciate your time.
Of course. and I appreciate the information.
Out of character, we're totally not gonna abide by that, are we?
Yeah, I don't think so. Makes for a really bad boring campaign.
Really boring campaign.
Really
but I mean,
boring.
Wait for the other
campaign.
guys to figure it out.
but I mean, you probably saw this coming. That's exactly what any cop would do. Is like, just let us handle this. You go home. The professionals are on
Okay,
it.
but really, can't we just join for? Nope, it's fine. But
We got
seriously,
this.
can't we just help?
But-
Nope.
Like, if you guys think about it, if you go into police station, you're like, I've got information. Let me help you. They'd be like, no, go home.
I'm not saying it isn't reasonable. I'm also saying that we are player characters. And we
I know,
have a
so you
main
should
story
keep going.
file.
So you should keep
Whole
going.
campaign basically
She will.
just narrating Fart Wins investigation.
She will stop just before the door and then go almost snidely back. We are pretty much officially at least part of the guard because of these particular symbols. You could... She paused for a moment. How do I word this?
You carry the mark of the Grey Hand. Well, if I need guards, I'll be sure to come find you.
Please do.
He nods.
To be perfectly frank, I would still like to help. But, being told not to, my hands are tied.
And with that, he'll nod, and you guys are leaving, and you're actually followed, give me a second, by Saith Cromley. And as you guys are walking out the door, he goes, "You'll have to excuse Barnabas. He is very much someone who likes to work on his own or with people he knows very, very well. You would have to understand how many investigations have been hampered by well-meaning but untrained individuals."
Well, it just means that we should get to know him better.
He
She gives
nods.
us a short smile. Genuine,
actually-
at least.
Yeah, he actually smiles back. Well, thank you for the information. And trust me, Barnabas will get down to the bottom of it. He's the best.
That is good to hear.
If it... He pauses. Perhaps an olive branch. You guys are at the Sleepy Dragon, yes?
Yes.
I will come by and let you know what we find. Acceptable?
She was about to say no as a politeness, and then she remembers that, like, this is actually slightly important. She goes, as junior sleuths, I think we would really be interested.
He nods. Well then, have a good day.
Waves hand.
Kai's gonna be looking for that crow once we go out.
Crow is not above your heads anymore. He's sitting on the guard's watch roof.
Kai will wave.
Cocks its head. No other acknowledgement. Alright. Where to now?
So we're totally continuing on like.
No,
we're
we
just-
should go back to the sweepy dragon because we're in trouble.
Please don't do that.
Guys, I really feel like we need to turn over a new leaf and be
Yeah.
good, law-abiding citizens. It's just
We'll sit there, read a book, see what happens.
I like how we got mad at Kai for lying when she was the one being like, "Ashu, you tell the story." Ashu told the truth and Kai lied.
this is what you get.
Kai's like, "I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna not tell the truth."
I'm a compulsive liar. I know this. Don't make me do it.
It was a
I only
cat!
have
No, it wasn't. It was! Oh man, at least Kai commits to it.
Right. Oh my
Listen, she's not gonna be like, "You're right.
Yeah.
I'm a dork."
You got me.
got me.
Woo! Also, we're so involved.
Also, like, we're working for Lady Celine.
Oh man! All right, where to? Do you want to go to the Temple of the Inspired Hands? Do you want to go talk to the dead? Do you want to go to the Gralhund Villa?
I'd say
I think talking the dead. Oh, okay, sorry. Go ahead. No,
I was
please.
about to say the Inspired Hands, because didn't we all kind of agree to wait for?
Well, there's two options, because you're right. You did want to wait for Kinsey to talk to speak to the talk to the dead. To speak to the talk to the dead. That is
Correct.
not
You can
English.
do it, Shui. I believe in you.
I feel like that's English words, but not English. So here's what is up to the players. What you have to decide, because you don't know what information you would get from speaking to them. You don't know if that would or wouldn't help you in your investigation. You can go to the Inspired Hands now, or we can call it a session and wait till next week and talk to the dead first before you continue. I will tell you that consider it 50-50, because I don't want to give you any hints one way or the other. It's completely up to you guys. This would be a short session, but if you want, we could wait until next week. It depends on... Basically, it comes down to this. Do you want to speak to the dead first and have that influence where you go, or do you want to just go talk to the Inspired Hands now?
The crowd goes silent.
I was gonna say I have no opinion one way or the other. I'm fine with either.
I talked so much. I want to let other people do things.
Kai wants to go find the cat.
Listen,
Just
I'm not.
drag it into Barnabas's office and be like, "There was a cat."
I'm not smart enough to be Kai. It's hard. I'm sorry, Issue. I'm sorry.
This is why I always play Tally. He's dumb.
Yeah.
I can do dumb.
I was gonna say this is like the first time I'm trying to play a character who knows things, and boy, was that a mistake.
I suggest going to the Inspired Hands. I don't think knowing any information from Delacar is going to really do much for figuring out the nibble right.
Nimble.
Nibble?
No, I
Nibble?
prefer nibble.
Nimble.
Nimble.
There you go.
Nibble.
Yeah.
Sure. So you guys can go to the Inspired Hand. Do you want to do that?
That's my vote, because I don't think any information from Delacar is really going to be pertinent to whatever we discuss.
All right. What about the rest of the group?
Sure.
I agree. Let's do
Perfect.
Inspired Hands.
Okay. So you guys make your way from the guard station and bid your farewells and continue on with your investigations, because you're fucking PCs, and that's what PCs do, and I love it.
Look, man, we can't
No,
just sit in
I am
the
100% on your side. This would be a very boring session if you just went back.
Anyone want to play cards?
That's what it, like, without this party, that's what a shoe would do.
Yeah, I know.
Open up a book and actually wait.
But
When Ashu starts to walk towards the sleepy dragon, and we like grab her hand and we start pulling her along.
all I'm saying is that if that was the book that was written, it would never get off the shelf.
And then they waited for any information, which was handily done by the police officers. The end.
Yeah, the book doesn't even follow the police officers; it just skips all that.
It's just random like PC events that are like, oh yeah, there's like there's a food market that pops up on Sunday. There's really good peaches.
Plus, you guys aren't exactly just breaking the law here. You do have directive from a higher authority to look into this quietly. So it's not like you're exactly exactly. So it's like the FBI has told you to investigate, but the local cops don't want you to. You know what I mean? It's that gray area.
Yeah.
So you make your way to the Inspired Hand, which is this giant clock tower thing here.
Oh, that's the
Right next to the Temple of the Gods, because it technically is a Temple of Grand. Anyone who would like can roll me a religious check to see if you've heard of that before.
Tholma will try. I make no promises.
I feel like Orit would not know.
Dolma, do.
I know religion.
My second 3 of the night, guys.
Oh, anyway,
Woo!
let's.
Only by proxy.
Religion.
All right. Dolma, you have heard of Gond. He is not one of the main pantheon. He is kind of one of the smaller gods. But he is considered to be the lord of all smiths and is what you would consider an intermediate deity of craft and smithwork. The Church of Gon is basically tolerated around much of the land, and you can find people of all alignments, good people, bad people, all kinds. They're not particularly one or the other, right? He tends to be followed a lot by rock gnomes, can't imagine why. Dwarves, many dwarves follow him, especially considering they're the ones that are the makers of the nimble rites, more often than not. But other than that, you don't know much. He's the god of all smiths, and most blacksmiths at least have a statue of some kind to him. So, as you all make your way to the House of the Inspired Hands, it looks kind of like a cross between a temple and a workshop. And the symbol of Gond, a toothed cog with 4 spikes, is displayed prominently. When you start approaching the front, up top, near where the clock is, you see the silhouette of a humanoid shape perched on one of the hands. It extends an arm and releases a tiny metal sparrow into the sky. The bird does a few loops in the air and then veers right towards you. I need everyone to roll initiative, please.
It's the
Great!
crowd! Oh, jeez.
I was about to be like, does it look like it has violent intentions? Apparently the answer is yes.
It's rocketing straight towards you.
That's rude.
I know.
I have
Oh,
not
Dolma.
rolled
Oh,
above
boy.
a 3 today. I have not rolled above a 3 today. Jesus.
What is with
Gotta
these
start rolling
initiatives?
more, man.
This is to break any ties. That's how these work.
Oh, Arthur.
You
On the
You
re-roll!
can change
Still.
that to the 6. Here, let me just make that a 6 for you.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Is that everyone? Am I missing anyone? Criana.
Criana
you roll.
rolled. She just needs to be added to the turn order.
Gotcha.
Oops, I forgot to click myself.
Yeah, just click your token and roll again real quick.
Uh,
And I shall change it.
oh, what did I... Oh, no.
Oh,
No, I closed out.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
there we go.
No.
Oh, no.
All that good initiative, oh, bye-bye.
You got a 16, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but still 21's, like, better.
Way better, yeah.
Alright, Ashu. You see this metal spear rocketing towards... you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna roll a d6. Arthur 1, Dolma 2, Kai 3. We'll say Ty is 4. Ashu 5, and Orit 6. Ashu! Rocketing
It's
right
me!
towards you!
Oh, no!
Wow, it's racist.
Easy, crazy. How am I gonna do against a metal bird?
Metal
Look
boy!
'em up.
Shit. I'm not even sure if it can hear. Well, with that, she'll just go. She's gonna cast a spell, heat metal.
Okay.
Amazing.
Trying to take off yourself.
I don't think it.
Yeah, there's not really a save that it can make if it's just metal. The save is to either drop the thing or hold the thing, and it is the thing.
It has 1 hit point, so please roll damage. Please roll damage.
How much does this thing explode? I want to see.
Is there just like molten metal flying at a shoe now?
So a shoe, you kind of raise your hand up, cast heat metal on it. It begins to just melt into slag, and you sidestep as the slag just kind of hits the ground and splats. The silhouette up top on the clock hand cocks its head curiously and then quickly retreats inside the clock, inside the building.
Are you alright, Ashu?
I'm just trying to figure out if I just destroyed something that was just supposed to showcase its animatronics or not.
I don't know. That seems like really poor planning on their part.
Look, I just got scared.
It's not true. I'm not blaming you. I would have nuked it.
There's like one wing still kind of functioning. Everything else is just a puddle.
Maybe we should.
Just kind of spasms.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I think I might have a jar. We can kind of scoop it in.
I think that's really hot.
I deactivate the spell, GM. You have attacked me.
Concentration. It's still gonna take it some time to cool down.
Can I use like chill touch on it?
Sure, you could. You use chill touch, and it solidifies into a metallic heap with half a wing sticking out.
I will pick it up. Oh, I feel we might have killed it.
Look, you all saw it. It was coming right at me, right?
No,
it was definitely coming right at you. What is it with birds today?
I don't know. I'm sorry if it is my fault for slam dunking that crow earlier. I did not mean to upset the bird spirits.
Look, I should apologize. We should go in.
Let's go inside.
Oh, you guys go up to the front door. I assume you knock, yes?
Sure.
It's a shop?
Yeah.
Sorry about your bird.
No, there's like large doors. It's more like a temple.
Yeah, we can just go
like
inside, right? Like a temple?
The doors are closed. I mean, do you want to try and open them and go inside?
I mean, if it looks like a temple, I don't see why we can't.
Sure. I mean, by all means. You guys open the doors, and you step inside, and you see the temple is abuzz with activity during this, what you're about midday now. The main hall of the temple holds about 24 marble pedestals. Each one bears a prize-winning invention or a miniature model of some other extraordinary creation. As you guys walk in, you see a very large, you hesitate to call it a nimble, right? But that is its name. It is very wide, very big, about 10 feet tall, and it begins lumbering towards you. And as it gets to you, it stops and goes, "Hello, my name is Giroth. Welcome to the House of the Inspired Hands.
Giroth.
How can I help you?"
History, or is that like a...
Well, I mean, Giroth isn't famous.
No,
It's just someone that's known by
I mean, he was only in the final battle of Ardenfell War Demons.
I know? Could I roll a history?
Arthur and Kai, you could both roll me a knowledge history.
Okay.
Yup. Oh shit!
Giroth, my friend!
Arthur, your father used to talk about Gearsworth, Girohimi, and Giroth, and this fits the description. Kai, you know about them, and you know why you know about them.
Okay, cool.
Kira! Hi!
That is my name, yes.
How are Gearsworth and Girohime?
Oh, you know of my friends.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
My
They are well. Gearsworth is out in the world adventuring, and Girohime has a prestigious position within Vamgalir.
Oh, cool.
We have there was an incident outside, and Kai will hold up the mangled mess of metal. It was trying to attack my friend, I think.
Oh,
And we melted it.
dear. My apologies. One moment, I will get the mistress. Please feel free to wander around. Please do not leave the main hall. There are many inventions that you might find wonder in. And he turns around and starts lumbering away.
Arthur,
he's
you
gonna
know
look
him?
around.
My dad knew him.
Oh,
Yeah.
fascinating.
How did...
What?
Another time, I guess. Curiosity is always my
You know who my
weakest
dad
point.
is!
I know who your dad is. I just want to know how he knows that. Golem.
Okay.
As someone's passing by, we don't use that word anymore. They prefer the term nimble, right?
Nimble right.
Yes. And then they continue on, completely sticking their nose in your business.
I can probably tell you a story about oil and Giroth.
Huh? Kai's like cradling the monstrosity like it's a baby.
I would love to, but I think we'll do that when we have more of a socially appropriate time.
Needless to say, big thing on slippery thing go woo.
So in the main hall, you guys are allowed to wander around for a bit. You see several things that are rather interesting on the pedestals. One thing you see is a 4-foot-tall working model of a clock tower rings at the top of the clock tower you're in that rings at the top of every hour. It's made of wood, iron, bronze, and glass, and has brass bells and delicate hands formed from solid gold. On another pedestal, you see a wooden flying machine that has wings that flap and when it becomes airborne. Another pedestal has a miniature model of a mechanical dragon turtle and has a brass plate affixed to its pedestal that reads, "Big Belchy, sank in Deepwater Harbor on the Day of Wonders." Another pedestal has a functional walking helmet equipped with a small articulated metal arms and hands that gently slap the wearer if he or she falls asleep. A waking helmet, not walking helmet, waking helmet. And on another pedestal, another interesting thing is a miniature model of a red submarine shaped like a manta ray and has a brass plate affixed to the pedestal that reads, "The Scarlet Marfoth, Latinese submersible."
Can we go back to that name?
Which one?
The
Big Belchy?
No, the golem's other name.
Nimblewright.
Yeah.
That name's familiar.
I'll assure you would know this. Golems no longer go by that term, as it had a lot of negative connotations outside of dwarven society.
Yeah.
So they've been called Nimblewrights ever since. So any golem, any magical artifact creation that would fit the term golem is considered a Nimblewright.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but weren't we like talking about like earlier?
That Jazarine said that the person on top of the roof looked like puppet-like, maybe like a Nimblewright.
It was like this session. But
Yeah.
before this...
Yeah?
Alright, anyway, sorry.
Oh, it's fine. So you guys kind of wander around, you look at the wonders, and eventually you are approached by a dragonborn priestess. And she walks up to you. She is... Hang on a second. I'm trying to see what kind of... she's of bronze ancestry. So a bronze dragonborn walks up to you, and she goes, "Hello, my name is Valletta. A pleasure to meet you. Welcome to the House of the Inspired Hands." And Giroth is trudging behind her. "My friend here says that you were unfortunately assaulted by one of our creations?"
Yes, this bird was fired at my friend here. And she'll point over to a shoe.
She'll hold her hand out for it.
Kai kind of like looks down at it. She's kind of grown attached to it over the 5 minutes she's held it. And she'll kind of frown and then hand it over.
She'll take a look at it.
I'm terribly sorry if it was one of your introduction displays or something of the sort.
No, none of our displays are meant to fly directly towards people. That would, well, it would cause panic. No, I don't recall this at all. Do you know, where was this? What happened? Can you tell me details?
There was a guy on one of the clock hands,
Her eyes widen.
and he just threw out a bird, and it seemed to go towards a shoe here.
I see. That would be Nim. Well,
No,
if
not
you'd like to
again.
come with me, if you'd like to come with me, we could talk to him. At the very least, he should apologize. I, on behalf of the entire House of the Inspired Hands, do apologize. Nim is a Nimblewright of, shall we say, odd personality. Please, come with me. Come, Giroth. And she'll start heading upstairs.
Let's follow.
We follow the NPC.
And as you're going up the stairs, she goes, "Well, in any case, what brought you here in the first place?"
We were inquiring about, I suppose, just the goal, nimble, right, in general. It's hard to explain. Perhaps when we are not on the stairs.
Of course. And she finally leads you up to the top of the tower. Giroth, like, trudging behind you guys. And she comes to a door, and she looks at the door, and the door has, like, a lock on it. She goes, I don't recognize this lock. Oh, Nim's been at it again. I'm afraid I don't have the key to this lock. And she starts looking around. I don't suppose any of you would be adept at removing locks, would you? Nim does tend to like to tinker too much for his own good.
I could give it a shot.
Oh, please, by all means.
Oh my god, you're just gonna break it off!
He's gonna, like, bend down, extend his mouth, bite.
Is it okay if it gets damaged, or do you want it intact?
No, I'd rather the door not be damaged.
Oh no, I'm talking about the lock.
Oh, I couldn't care less about the lock.
Okay. So... Squee.
Uh-huh.
I have an ability.
Uh-huh.
So he's His fingernails are going to grow and sharpen into black claws. And he is going to slash at it with corrosive touch.
Okay. Make an attack roll. It's not a hard thing to hit.
I am going to use 3 side points.
Gotcha.
Alright.
Is corrosive touch?
It's a DC.
Yeah,
It's a dex save.
well, it can't.
Dodge! Dodge, you fool!
The lock moves to the side. Yeah, so you're able to basically slash at it, and the acid burns the lock off, and it drops to the ground. And she goes, that's interesting magic.
He's gonna speak in Draconic. It's not magic. I was born with it.
Maybe he's born with it.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Date it.
She opens the doors, and she goes, Nim, we have guests. Guests who I think that perhaps you owe an apology to. Nim. And you guys walk in behind her, and you see that this is like an attic of some sort, and it's filled with all kinds of old furniture and dusty tomes and bookshelves, and also what looks to be tools, like tinkerer's tools and pieces of metal and things that are broken down. And you guys hear a noise, and from the other side of the room, a thin, somewhat tall Nimblewright ducks its head out from behind a cabinet. It looks very kind of timid and looks at all of you with quick moving eyes, and then ducks back behind the cabinet. And Valletta goes, Nim, come here. And Nim slowly steps out from the cabinet and slowly takes a few steps forward. And Valletta holds up what's left of the bird. Nim's eyes widen and looks down at the ground, and Valletta says, explain. And then Nim looks up and goes, and makes sort of whistling, clicking sounds. And Giaroth goes, he is saying that it was an accident. He is saying that he's sorry. And Valletta looks reproachfully. We have told you before to not disturb the people outside with your creations. You could have damaged one of them. He is saying that was not his intention. He is sorry. Well?
What was your intention?
And he makes like hand motions up high. He's saying he wanted it to fly.
Fly?
He is saying that he was hoping it would be able to fly around the city and show him things. And Valletta shakes her head. We don't allow him to leave the House of the Inspired Hands, as he is special, you could say. A rather good inventor, but, well, as you can see, he always has a habit of getting into trouble.
Yeah.
And Nim looks down. And Valletta looks at him and says, that is not acceptable. You have been told before your creations are not to leave this place. You are treading on very thin ice, Nim. And he kind of looks down to the side. Again, my apologies. And she looks to you guys.
Or he looks to Ishu, who is the one who was attacked by a bird.
Right.
She's really just trying to like absorb all of this. How was the bird looking? Like, was it just not flapping and just
Oh, it was
shooting
working
straight.
perfect. No, it was working perfectly. It was just flying straight towards you.
Oh.
Like, the flight was great. Maybe the targeting was off.
I see.
What would have caused it to pinpoint directly at a shoe rather than fly around the city? It seems like a very big mistake, especially with us approaching at the time.
The Nim looks up and starts shaking its hands. And Geralt says, he says it was a complete accident. He does not know exactly why, but it was not veering towards your friend. It was simply flying out of control.
Ashu gives a short nod. I'm actually a little interested in a little bit of machinery. She goes to her backpack and takes out the toy dragon. Wait. Yes, no, she still has that.
Yeah, she does. Nim grabs it from your hands with a little high pitch and takes it to the table and starts, like, poking at it. And Valletta goes, Nim, that's rude. That's not yours. He says this is wonderful craftsmanship. He wants to know if he can take it apart. Absolutely not. It's not yours, Nim.
No, hold on. Do you have another one of your birds?
He says no. He only made the bird and... well, he didn't finish after that. And what, Nim? He makes like a little like, oh, noise. And what, Nim? Valletta says again. He says he made another Nimblewright. What?
Oh shit!
And like Nim like shrinks back. You did what?
Oh, he's a father.
And Geralt goes, apparently he was lonely, so he made another Nimblewright. But it ran away over 2 weeks ago.
That's probably a perpetrator. Out of character.
Do you have any way of communicating with your child?
He looks up and gets kind of excited and runs to the back of the room and pulls out a thing. Give me a second.
Is it a sending star?
It is a device that looks
a
like
gun.
this. It is a device. Give me a second. Why are you not... Okay, whoa, that's weird. I'm sorry, my roll 20 is all of a sudden going nuts.
I see it.
Yeah,
I see it.
Good. So it looks like a foot-long copper contraption with an umbrella-like metallic protrusion at one end, and he starts. And Geralt translates. He's saying that is a Nimblewright detector. He does not have the ability to talk to his Nimblewright, but he wanted to go find him, so he invented this to detect him. But it seems he is unable to leave the grounds.
Well,
we are a group of, let's just say, enthusiasts for helping. I'm not quite sure what to call it. I'm sure there's a word for it.
Valletta kind of shakes her head and she goes, this is unacceptable. First of all, Nim, I'm taking your tools. Yes, I'm taking your tools. I don't know how long. Months, at least. You completely disobeyed us. You made an entire Nimblewright and let it loose on the city to wreak all kinds of havoc. No, I'm taking your tools, and that's that. And he, kind of crouches down. And then she turns to you. I am so sorry about this. You said you like to help, yes?
Yes.
Look, I don't suppose that you could... If news, a Nimblewright that wasn't properly licensed or vetted like Giroth here was loose in Ardenfell, well, that could be trouble. But if you were willing to perhaps track it down and destroy it, I would be willing to reward you with, say, 500 gold?
I think that would be something that we would be interested. But you don't want it back.
I suppose. I mean, if you can bring it back, sure, but destroyed is just as good. She shrugs. I mean, I admit I'm a little curious. Nim is a wonderful inventor, but I'd rather them not cause trouble.
Understood. We will... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I said she was just going to say we'll do our best.
Dolma would actually look over at Nim and say, did you... I don't know if you really can... Did it have any weapons or knowledge about anything magical? Anything like that? That might be something to keep an eye out for.
And Geralth goes, he says Nimblewrights can't do magic, but that he was clever.
Well, I guess 2 more questions. One, what was he built for? I'm sure that there was some sort of purpose.
He says that he made him after himself to keep him company.
Oh. And the second question is, may we use the tracker? And it is definitely yours. And from what I can tell, is not outside his limitations for building. So it would be not...
He says, looking at Valletta. And Valletta says, you are trying to negotiate? After... Fine. Let them use the device, and I will let you keep 1 tool. 1 tool!
Better pick careful.
Nim looks up cheerfully and hands over the detector to you, and then walks over and grabs what looks like a ratchet type thing and holds it to his chest very closely.
Excellent. I'll be...
And he goes... And Girol says... He says that you pull the little trigger there and point it in a direction. And if there is a Nimblewright close, within 500 feet, the umbrella at the end will start to spin.
It's like Death Stranding.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So basically the way it works is to activate the detector, a character must hold down its trigger. Once the activated device comes within 500 feet of a Nimblewright other than Nim, the umbrella begins to spin, whirl, and click. The spinning, whirling, and clicking accelerates as the distance to the target lessens, reaching a maximum velocity and volume when the Nimblewright other than Nim is within 30 feet of the device.
I will definitely take good care of this, and she tries to reach over and get the her mechanical dragon back.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate another person who is very enthusiastic about craftsmanship.
Oh? We're always looking for inspired individuals.
She thinks for a moment. I might inquire about future projects in a few days. I'm hoping to get something off the floor, and might need your help.
Well, if it involves inventions or nimble rights of any kind, you've come to the right place. But in the meantime, if you could take care of our little problem quickly and discreetly, I would appreciate it.
Real quick, Nim, did your child have a name?
He says that his name was...
Okay.
I mean, names don't really need translations.
Yep.
Ashu then perks up a bit and turns to Dolma. Those are tones. You could probably have something written down.
She raises a brow but nods. And luckily, Dolma is an excellent whistler. I, on the other hand, am very average at best.
Give me a second. I'll find out what those tones are.
Yeah, she goes, you just have to make sure that you get the notes right, correct?
If you'd like, I can assist. Kai points to her head.
I'm sure that there's no musical notoriety that you can translate their name into.
I mean, she can try and, play something out on the violin or something.
Yeah. What notes are those?
That's a good question.
I'm figuring it out. Give me a second.
Just let me know when you want to perform it.
I'm a bard. It's what I do.
I wish I was a bard.
Glad I never was one.
Glad I never was one.
Alright, it's A, F, E. Oh, wait. A, F, G, E. A, F, G, E. I just need tabs for my frickin' whistle. Someone might want to write that down, but thank you. Yeah, before I forget it.
A F G E. A F G E. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
F G.
A F G E.
If she just like to go, I just want to make sure this is correct, and something that we can do. Dolma, if you could whistle or play an instrument in... You don't have to do it in real life.
Yeah, you can just roll me a performance check if you want.
Ah.
Yeah. Dolma is able to pitch perfectly recreate it, and Nim nods and claps.
Dolma, just gives a little bow, I mean, Dad did teach me how to play by ear.
Excellent. Well, now we can call out to it if we need to.
Mm-hmm. So, with that, anything else you guys want to do at the House of the Inspired Hands?
Honestly, I think I'm good, pretty much.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Well, thank you for coming. I would like to say we would want to see you again, but I know you have no real reason to come see me. That is alright.
That's not fair. There's 2 people in our group who know you. You have plenty of reason to say hello again.
That's very kind of you. I will not hold out hope, but you have made my day.
If...
Okay, Mr. Elcor.
You guys forgot how depressing he was.
Yeah, listen. Kip would know about them, right?
Yeah. I mean, Keen really liked all the golems.
Yeah, he did. Arthur will say, listen, my dad's probably not going to be visiting anytime soon, but I can at least have my brother check in on you every once in a while.
Who is your dad?
Keen Stormsire.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know your father. I fought with him in the war.
Yeah.
He would never come see me. He
Aww.
has no reason to.
Well, I can tell him to.
No, I don't want to impose.
He's just really
It's
busy on
okay.
Windfall Isle. No, please.
Of course. That's understandable.
Roth, please.
Don't put yourself out for me. I am fine.
Okay.
This is how we get Keen into the main campaign. Buddy!
Buddy!
Why have you not visited him? That's really rude.
Sends a message all the way over. Dad, what the heck?
Yeah. Do you have any idea? They get a message back. He's always like that.
Did I not tell you that? I didn't tell you that, did I?
I
Oh, wow.
visited him last month, actually. I don't think he even remembers.
No, Keen hasn't visited him
No,
in forever.
he hasn't.
He's been busy.
Well, maybe Keen's just wrapped up talking with Guard Joe.
So.
Oh my god.
Hey, wow, you actually came and talked to me.
Man, we need to get these two together. Get Guard Joe and this guy.
So you guys leave the House of the Inspired Hands. I think that's a good place to end the session here, so that you guys can go talk to dead people,
Yeah.
and then possibly hunt down a Nimblewright,
Yay!
or go to the Gralhund Villa. You could do that too.
Or go to the Sleepy Dragon Inn and just sit there.
Like
These are
good
all options.
civilians.
You know, I don't like to railroad my players.
Or we can go see Griffins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I'm gonna
We could
have
just
to
be
find,
like,
I'm gonna
"Hey,
ha-
guys."
I'm gonna have to find a way to work that faction in now.
Like, hey
Oh,
guys,
Mackenzie
can
was
we,
so
like-
upset.
I know, but I was
Can we,
sitting there going, there were two factions that I left out because there were already so many, right?
what
And one of
One-
them had griffins!
One
What's
of them
the other
had
one?
nothing. Was like an underworld type thing. None of you would have bid on, so I didn't really even bother with it. And then the other one, I underestimated Kinsey's love of griffins, I guess.
Yeah,
Clearly.
clearly.
I'll pull back the curtain for you guys and the viewers too. Before I took them out, I was going to have them show up at the same time Kip did, because it was that day where everyone was contacting you all.
Yeah.
And I was going to have them show up too, and they would have been like, "Oh, hi Kip. Oh, hi Griffin Captain." You know, like one of those things. But I was like, I've already bombarded them with like 5
No, it
factions.
would have been so good! Dragons versus griffins!
You know
But
how much
it-
Orit? You know how much Orit would love seeing Griffins?
Well, I'll work them in somehow. Well, that is it for this week, everyone. Thanks for joining us, and join us next week as we talk to dead people.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yay!
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye!